Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. All right, this one goes out to KJ15086. The discography reviews are piling up. I might have to start charging for these discog skis, I guess. So far, I got the guy 1337. He wants me to do Intestine Ballism and Entombed. High Tech Nomad wants me to do Deicide. Voorhees Metal Productions want me to do Mortician. I'm not gonna say the Tish. I got a Newport Huffer. One Impetigo. I've also heard people say Impetigo. I say Impetigo, like Stratego, the game. That's how I like to say it. That one should be pretty quick. That's only 2 fucking records. Anyway, for Mr. KJ15086 today, our video is about Destroyer 666, man. So I had not listened to Destroyer 666 in my spare time in a long time. I realized I wasn't even aware of Never Surrender from 2022, and I didn't really have any memory of Defiance and Wildfire at all. I always liked Unchain the Wolves and Phoenix Rising the most, and after listening to all their studio albums several times recently, I still agree with the opinion I had when I was like 16. My intro to Destroyer 666, actually, like when I first became aware of them, I was around 12 years old, and I wouldn't actually hear them until I started high school, and the only other kid in school who liked good metal was into them. So I finally was like exposed to their music eventually. But when I was 12, there was this guy named South of Heaven 11 on a music discussion site that I was on. This guy, he was a bit of a dullard, man. He was mainly into like party thrash, surf thrash, like, Ed Repka, zombies drinking beer on the beach type of thrash metal. I thought he was a bit of a douche and pretty stupid, but he did write a review of Destroyer 666 Phoenix Rising. Now I remember thinking, damn, this looks badass. I like the cover, and just the name is just like, we don't care about being smart at all. Like, we're not fucking Opeth or anything. But at the time, man, I thought it looked cool, but I was already kind of overwhelmed by the amount of music out there, and just, you can't hear everything all at once, But anyway, man, on with the discography. This is one of those bands where, for me, there seems to be like kind of a divide in quality. Like, there's a 7-year gap between Cold Steel for an Iron Age in 2002 and Defiance in 2009. And for years, I've seen people online talk about how Destroyer 666 have basically done the same thing over and over since their first record. Like, that's a popular thing for people who don't like the band to repeat. Maybe that, sorry, fuck, my throat. But anyway, man, maybe that's how it seems if you only listen to them when they put out a new record. But, there are certain musical traits that are present on all the Destroyer 666 records, but, when you spend their entire discography, like several times, like in a short period of time, like I just did, you definitely pick up on like some stylistic shifts between these eras, and it becomes more apparent, especially on Wildfire, Never Surrender, after Shrapnel leaves the band, because he left the band after Defiance, I believe. But now while I do prefer the band's first 3 records, particularly the first 2, I do have to say Destroyer 666, they've got a wider range of sound across their discography than they're given credit for. I mean, I'm not an expert on their history, but to my understanding, like, KK basically started up Destroyer 666 with the intention of kind of like expanding the sonic palette of what he was already doing with like Beast of Warlust, basically taking this like black death thrash like hybrid sound, but with Destroyer 666 adding in elements of stuff like, classic shit like Maiden, Priest, Motorhead, bringing back more of a Venom, kind of like rock and roll. I don't want to say classic rock, but like that kind of attitude back to this, type of music, So a lot, there's throughout their discography, man, they've got a lot of kind of fist in the air, fucking triumphant, beer in your hand type shit, man. That's not a great explanation, but you kind of get the vibe. I mean, they ramp up this kind of epic thing more and more since the Defiance record in '09. But anyway, man, so starting with Unchain the Wolves from 92, or fuck, 97, sorry. It's basically a toss-up between this one and Phoenix Rising from 2000 as far as like which one's the best, man. Like Unchain the Wolves does strike me as a bit more like black metal influence, man, which is cool. It almost seems like a conscious reaction to like the symphonic black metal shit at the time, you know. So they're kind of mixing in like kind of heavy metal, classic metal, some thrashier songwriting within this like black metal framework. It's almost kind of in the same way that something like Deceased, Fearless Undead Machines was like kind of like a conscious effort to re-inject like 80s heavy metal back into death metal in a proper manner, you know. So especially on Unchained the Wolves, man, I can hear these kind of Dark Throne sounding parts, or like more accurately, at times it sounds like it's influenced by like Dark Throne's interpretation of Celtic Frost, if that like makes sense, you know. And you see that sound slowly move away as you continue through their discography. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to say pretty much everything on Unchained the Wolves and Phoenix Rising, pretty much everything on it is good and worth hearing. For 2002's Cold Steel for an Iron Age, I dig this record. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's kind of like a watered down version of the shit that came before. I do enjoy it as a whole more than the records that come afterwards, but the songwriting is just not as memorable as the first two for me. 2009's Defiance. It's pretty solid, man. Like, it's not like a turd or anything, but you know, you start to see an increased emphasis on melody, and there's a little bit better production. I think the earlier records had the right balance between like extremity and like melodicism, whereas this one kind of sets the trend of the, like more of that epic kind of beer swilling sound. Like it almost reminds me of like a Cult version or Cavalt version of Amon Amarth, and I know that that's like not at all what Destroyer 666 fans want to hear, but I mean, look at the song Sermon to the Dead. I'm sure the band was probably going for more of like a Bathory Hammerheart, which I think is a great record, but this tune and a lot of stuff on 2016's Wildfire and 2022's Never Surrender, it's got this sort of style, you know. Like, listen to the last song on Wildfire, man. It's like really going for the epic thing, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but it makes me think of like some Skyrim guards like dancing around drinking mead and shit like that. And you know, I think the more like just stripped down vicious style of like the early stuff is just, you know, better. But that's basically my you know, not so in-depth discography rundown of Destroyer 666. I mean, someone who's a bigger fan of this band than I am could probably dissect this stuff more than I can. I would recommend their first two records to fans of like metal in general. Beyond that, I'd file it all under like enthusiasts only. I could see some people out there preferring the sort of like drink and be merry atmosphere of their last few records. And there's, you know, plenty of fans think all their records are great. So check them out for yourself. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, whatever. You know, am I a poser? I guess I'm wrong. Let me know. Shout out to KJ15086, man. And I'll have coming soon. I'll do the fucking Intestine Ballism, Entomb, Deicide, Mortician, Impetigo. Hey, keep throwing out bands, man. But now I may have to start charging, like, because I know at some point one of you is going to say like Five Finger Death Punch or just something that would be like actual painful work, like that. That's like kind of like manual labor. So yeah, let me know in the comments and have a great day.